And then we move on to the Mask of Mandragora.
Hello there, you lovely lot. Welcome back to the third installment of this crazy marathon video series where I'm basically looking at every single classic Doctor Who video that was released in order from start to finish. So join me on this episode. Thank you very much. Enjoy. Okay, so in the last episode we finished on the Dominators, and in this episode we start with, comment down below if you can guess the title, it is Curse of Fenrik. Curse of Fenrik, one of my favourite Doctor Who stories from the 7th Doctor's era. It's a fantastic story, highly regarded within the whole Doctor Who community as far as I'm aware, and what else is there to say apart from, let's give this one a rating. I rate this one 9.5 out of 10. It really does kick off an amazing adventure. If you haven't seen it, you know what you got to do. Go and check it out. Okay, and then we get to the Crotons. This story is absolutely fantastic. I adore the Crotons. I think it's one of the best black and white Doctor Who stories that was ever made, and the Crotons themselves are fantastic. I literally love the Crotons to the point where I listened to a Big Finish audio the other day called Return of the Crotons, no less. And, well, it contains the 6th Doctor, which you can see just there. And, yeah, it explains a bit more about the Crotons. Definitely worth checking out and definitely worth watching this. I rate this one 9.5 out of 10 as well. It is an absolute banger. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached an end of an era. This is Planet of the Spiders. Now, this story marks the end of the 3rd Doctor's stories, which is very sad because Jon Pertwee's era was fantastic, but the Planet of the Spiders is definitely a good send-off. I believe originally the Master was supposed to be in this story, the last story with the 3rd Doctor, and they were going to battle it out. But of course, Roger Delgado passed away before this was filmed, which is just tragic. A real shame. But nonetheless, Planet of the Spiders is a great story. I rate this one 8 out of 10. I know that's quite a low ranking potentially, but that's because I feel like the last couple of episodes, they almost feel like a different story when they go to Metabolus 3. It is a bit disconjointed in my opinion, but it is just my opinion. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of Planet of the Spiders. The next video to be released was The City of Death, and boy oh boy, let me tell you, this story is incredible. Not only is the story incredible, it's all set on location in Paris. The soundtrack is incredible. Julian Glover, that plays Scaroff, is incredible. Tom Baker and Lalla Ward are on top form. It is just an absolutely incredible story. And you know what? After I've finished editing this video, I'm going to go and watch City of Death. 10 out of 10. Love it. And then we move on to something a little bit different. This is the Hartnell years. This was the beginning of the BBC making some really quite unique Doctor Who videos. This basically has some episodes from stories that have other episodes missing, and it really helps you to kind of get to grips with some of the amazing 60s of Doctor Who. And I mean, yeah, definitely worth tracking this one down. It hasn't come out on DVD, I don't think it will. But having said that, the Tom Baker years has been released on special features part of a Blu-ray recently, so there is hope and there is light at the end of the tunnel for these amazing videos and stories to still make it onto Blu-ray. And then we move on to something extremely similar. This is the Trout and Years, and yep, you've guessed it, it's exactly the same, but just with some Trout and stories. I actually rate this one 9 out of 10 because it's got some stories on there that I absolutely love. It's got an episode from Evil of the Daleks, which is just incredible. Again, if you haven't seen this, go check it out. This one has Jon Pertwee introducing all the missing episodes, and the 1st Doctor's one, which you've just had a look at, has Sylvester McCoy looking at all the episodes.
And then we move on to the Mask of Mandragora.
And I'll tell you what, when I was a kiddie, I could not pronounce this title at all. For a start, I thought that said Masku, and Mandragora, I just couldn't say it. So it was always a bit of a, what is it, how do I say it type story. But nonetheless, it is a fantastic story, a fantastic video. There's a bit of an amazing clickbait title thumbnail there. Look at that. Tom Baker with a really scary mask on. You think, oh my god, he's been taken over. But spoiler alert, he's just kind of pissing around. Yeah, Mask of Mandragora. I rate this one 8.5 out of 10. Euronymous.
Then we move on to a story containing
William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton and John Pertwee. It is the Three Doctors, an incredible feat. This was to basically celebrate the 10th anniversary of Doctor Who, and it is incredible. It has Omega in it for the first time, all about antimatter, and of course those lovely gel guards. I rate this story 8.5 out of 10. The artwork on this video is lovely. You can see the beamer light there coming out of the third Doctor's nipple. Brilliant. And then we move on to something quite incredible. This was the very, very first double video I ever owned as a kid. 100 points to Gryffindor. If you can guess what it is before I show you it, it is none other than the Sontaran Experiment and Genesis of the Daleks. What an incredible double video this was. I was just blown away. I watched this over and over and over again. Of course, the Sontaran Experiment, only a short story with 2 episodes, but it's fantastic. Genesis of the Daleks, well, speaks for itself. Without a doubt, one of my favourite videos that was ever released. It is absolutely superb. The Sontaran Experiment and the Genesis of the Daleks, this video set gets 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this video. And then we move on to a video that I purchased again from a convention in 1999 for around about £50. This is The Deadly Assassin. A really incredible story. I highly recommend you check this one out. There is some really cool stuff going on in this one. It's very kind of horrific, if you know what I mean. I rate this story 9 out of 10. Check it out if you haven't seen it. The Deadly Assassin. And then we move on to the story that's been rated the best Doctor Who story of all time. And no, I'm not talking about Genesis of the Daleks. I'm talking about Caves of Zarni. This is one of those stories that just gets rated over and over again. And I think I know why. It is incredible. Peter Davison is on form. If only we had another season of Doctor Who starring the 5th Doctor in this kind of ilk, it would have been amazing. Caves of Zarni speaks for itself. It gets a 10 out of 10 from me. The video artwork is incredible, and look at the teeth on him. Damn! He definitely cleans his teeth twice a day. Whoa! Really good story. Superb. And the last video that I'm going to be talking about in this episode is none other than Tom Baker's very first story, and that is, of course, Robots, featuring the K1 robot, which is just an incredible design. Love the simplicity of the title, Robot, and yeah, it gets the job done. Tom Baker, even though it's his very first story, he is on form from start to finish. I love it, and I'm sure many of you do too. So, that is Robot, and that gets from me a 9.5 out of 10. So thank you everybody for sticking around and watching the 3rd part of this instalment. The 4th part will be uploaded very soon, of course, and, well, I'll let you know on a little bit of a spoiler. And for the 4th part, we're going to be starting with something quite special. It's Logopolis. That's right, we're ending this one on the 1st Doctor's 4th story. Wait, we're ending this one on the 4th Doctor's 1st story, and we're going to start the next episode on the 4th Doctor's last story. Some of these releases were so strangely put, I just don't know, I'm just going with it. So, yes, thank you for watching. I'll see you all again very soon. Take care, and guess what? Goodbye for now.